Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, are we hearing my stream right now? That's horrible. All right, all fixed.
Right on.
Yeah, big mess up like usual, right? Would it be like?
Yeah, whatever. That's our podcast.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Oh, we got Bad Santa here after like 5 years of depression.
Yeah, about that.
So tonight we have a special guest. You want to introduce him, Brian?
Rick from Talking Habs, everybody.
Hell yeah!
Everybody. What's up, Rick? You're already smoking, and I love that about you.
Yep.
So, without further ado, I'm gonna get dipped myself.
What are you smoking, Rick?
What is it tonight? Tangerine cookies tonight.
Ooh,
exotic.
I've got like 9 different varieties here. I get my stuff
only
from out. Well, I get it from out near you, actually, out in BC. It's like I pay $40 a Zed for it.
I got it from near Brian for a long time. Very, very near, right?
Very, very near. Yeah. All the way upstairs.
I spent what 10, maybe 15 years I didn't buy because I was growing myself.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And now with these new LED lights, you don't have to worry about temperature getting out of
freaking
control.
Ballasts, right?
Man,
we had one of those, but it wasn't a really good one, so we never really got into that because they were expensive to buy. We were just a small shop, and
technology has caught up, bro.
No,
it's bananas.
It's been 5 years about since I stopped, so
yeah, right about whenever it was like started financially become not worth it to grow anymore.
No, because you can't make any money at it at all.
Yeah.
What are you smoking, Brian?
I think it's lemon. I've got a little something. Santa left me a little treat in here. We're gonna open up.
What, you mean you're not Santa? What?
No, I'm a helper.
What?
You can't see that?
You just killed it, dude. You just broke my fucking heart, man.
Now we know there's no all the kids out there.
Yeah. Kids shouldn't be watching this show, Rick.
I hope there's no kids watching this show.
Yeah,
I told everybody in my stream, if you don't like swearing and stuff,
the swearing disclaimer. I loved it, Rick.
Don't come over. No, because I don't swear. I don't swear on my channel anymore. I used to. I got a lot of complaints, and I don't anymore. So
what's amazing is
they don't like it when one pops out sometimes. Oh yeah,
that's not the fucking place for these fucking people.
I don't fucking swear. I don't fucking swear anymore on my fucking channel.
What's hilarious, Rick?
A lot of fucking people don't like. That felt really good to do, by the way.
You feel free.
Here's the funny thing: you don't swear, but Rick doesn't swear, but he openly talks about microdosing shrooms, right? So so it's funny what shocks people, right?
My parents were hippies basically hippies in the 70s. I grew up.
Man, microdosing shrooms will clean up your vocabulary. It will.
I don't think people understand what microdosing is. Though.
It's awesome, dude. It's the best. It's the best antidepressant out there for sure.
It cured my depression in 4 months. Gone.
I believe it.
Gone.
It gives you enhanced vision. It gives you pain. Like it's the best painkiller.
Focus, creativity.
Yep.
Shit off the wall. My creativity went off the wall since
you were able to start doing podcasts without swearing.
Oh, I've been doing that for a while now. Yeah, I've been doing that for a while. Mostly because I was losing subscribers because of it, and we had a couple people on. I had a crew sort of with me for a while, and there was one or two guys that swore a lot, and it was a problem. So we just made a rule that just.
So that's probably what's holding us back, Brian. We swear too much.
No, you know what I'm surprised at though is YouTube was like kind of really down on that. Depending on where you started swearing, right? Like if you only started like in the 5-10 minutes into the show, they were okay with it to some extent. Now I don't think it's a problem with them. Even doing this was a problem. Now it's they have freaking ads. I get ads for pot places. I get ads for that.
Freaking betting ads everywhere are the worst, dude.
The betting ads. Fuck.
Morality has gone away, man.
Hey, man, I've been delivering scratch tickets to stockings for generations. I'm not going to say anything about betting. You guys.
Okay, listen. Okay, maybe not the greatest thing to do, but the sports betting and the amount of ads and the people doing it. Where does Gretzky need money from sports betting companies?
Tell me about it.
Really? I'm sorry. You're selling your soul.
You think that's worse? Joe, do you really think that's worse than coaching the Coyotes? Honestly,
maybe not. Maybe not.
But Rick, Pat and I were talking about it. It's like. It's the only like you can't flash cocaine in front of people's faces because like that's you know what I mean?
The addiction,
like,
right?
It's an addiction that they could just be like, hey.
It's crazy,
right?
man. That is insane.
It's an
it is a
addiction
real.
Everybody freaking carries in their. They have the solution right here in their hands. They can just and that's evil. It's evil to do that.
All that is also valid for pornography. So I relax, Rick.
Okay,
I like it.
Shut your damn mouth.
Not even. Listen, don't talk about the porn.
at least wait 5 minutes in. At least wait 5 minutes in before we start talking
right.
about porn.
Right.
It's YouTube rules.
Here's the problem. I don't last 5 minutes, Brian.
Listen, you guys. Now that you're on YouTube, when you get monetized by when you get to that point, you'll get some offers from. I've had 5 from sports betting.
So I've had a plan already about that. If it ever happens, I'm turning to Loto Quebec and I'm going for mise au jeu. And I'll be like, listen, guys, I'll take the illegal guys if you guys don't pay. Pay up. But
listen, I know maybe you feel you won't get there, but you will. It takes a long time, though. The first 1,000 takes a long time, but then you'll get there.
Yeah.
Just a time thing. It took me 13 months.
Here's the thing. We're doing it for fun. I feel like if we're going to get any serious offer, it's probably through the French one with Mathieu, because we actually behave. It's not the content, Brian. It's the envelope, right? It's so clean with Mathieu. But here's the thing, man. The fun I have on here, oh man, like the chat will go wild. Rob and Joel are gonna start talking shit. It's going off, for sure. So I'm having fun.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing. You know, that was the difference for me. I was kind of uptight. I'm not a person really that likes my picture taken and shit. So, although I don't think about it when I record and stuff, but it took me like 3.5 years to just be loose on here, and that's the biggest. And then when I did that, I think my videos are better and stuff like that. But it took a while to get to that point where I'm like calm on air.
It took a while for. This is my first project, but Brian, you started off being eye on pod, so that's really release. Like I can tell you, like on Non Réclamé au Balotage, the first pod with Mathieu and Jeff, it took a few months to really get comfortable. And on our third show, we had fucking Marc-André Perrault from TVA Sport on there. The third show, man. So I was like, what's going on, man? I'm talking with this guy I see 10 times a day. He's on TV, man, and he's right here interacting with us like we're regular fucking friends, man. It was insanely nice. And then we got Eric Engels, Andrew Zdonorski, LP Guy from the radio, and I'm forgetting one, and I feel Luc Gélina from RDS, and he was so generous, man. He told us stories from Gretzky's father's place, man, where he showed them every kid trophy Gretzky had and stuff. Like a freaking awesome story, man. So we were blessed with early guests. We had better guests than we were hosts for sure, which kind of I guess kicks you in the ass too. Yeah.
It'll build
you're learning on, right? You're learning on the Nothing wrong with learning on the fly. Hey, I got a podcast. I was like, I don't know, a few months in. Somebody in Toronto, what are they called again? I don't remember. They hired me. It was way out of my league, but I took it, and but you learn. Like I learned from it. It gave me a taste for wanting to do it more, and I decided since I wasn't good enough the first time, I'll get good enough. It took me a couple more years, but I think I'm probably there now. But,
we got really, really, really better when we kicked Jeff out. That's really when we got better. Okay, just kidding. That was me.
I don't know who Jeff is. I've been following you guys probably I want to say probably 3 years on Twitter.
You and I know I follow you not without having a podcast way before that, I believe.
Oh, I've been on Twitter for a while, but I've only been doing the Talking Habs for 4 years. So it's my anniversary tomorrow. Is my 4 years.
Really?
Congratulations!
Congrats, man. That's
I'm gonna play my very first video, which I look like I'm a stiff Frankenstein. It's funny to watch. I left it up there. I'm gonna cut some clips out of it. And put it
you know what you need is a Santa suit.
Yeah,
I have a Santa hat. I'm going to be wearing that. I'm doing a podcast. I'm not doing anything for Christmas this year at all. So I'm going to do a podcast, a video, live stream, whatever, and I'm going to wear my Santa hat. Yeah, I always do.
I have a better question for you, Rick.
Oh, is your internet cabled, Rick? Sweet.
No, that's not the one.
No, I'm plugged. I'm plugged in. I don't go Wi-Fi.
See? You're fucking anti-cable, Brian. You're the only one on your side.
Oh, listen,
hang on. I had a really good question for you, Rick. You're gonna go on.
Can't run StreamYard on Wi-Fi. You can be on as a guest on Wi-Fi, but you can't run it on Wi-Fi.
Oh, nice. So wait, how does StreamYard work? Can you send people a link to join your call and they'll be sharing screen? Easy like that?
I send you a link. You go into my green room and you wait there, and I can see you. You can see me, and I bring you in whenever. Yeah.
I'm busting my ass making fucking scenes on Streamlabs and working with Discord on Peril. That's bullshit.
Dude, 10 people. 10 guests on.
Wow.
I think including me or with me. I'm not sure if it's 10 plus me or 10 with me, but I got 10 people on the screen.
That's nice.
It's cool. It's really cool. I don't use it often, but it's cool.
That's awesome. So I was gonna ask, with you, when you go on stream with your Santa hat, will your white shirt have stains on it?
Me? No, I don't wear white shirts.
You're going for the clean Santa, right?
Are you talking about me? I'm going to be like.
Obviously, Brian didn't go for the clean Santa.
See the fake. I got the fake belly going on and everything.
Pregnant belly. That's the pregnant, fake pregnant belly.
That's why.
The difference is.
Hold on, fucking 502. Fuck you, Pat.
The problem is, since COVID, I could probably do that without a belly. And I don't think I need that belly. I got it.
I don't need it.
My own.
I'm huge.
COVID's killed me.
After I found this thing, I dug it back out. I'm starting back up again next year. I'm doing this again. This was too much fun. Even just getting dressed up today.
Santa gig.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
A great way to distribute the THC chocolates too.
Yeah, for sure. Every stocking gets one, for sure.
Oh, yeah, chocolate is one thing I couldn't make.
Really?
Oh, no?
It's the easiest. It's the easiest, Rick.
It's the easiest one there is.
Yeah.
You gotta buy that chocolate. What is it called? It's tempered or whatever already.
No, just melting chocolate.
You just gotta be patient with your.
No, I couldn't make good chocolate. I tried. I couldn't do it.
Well, okay, so hang on. This is awesome.
I think you can try again.
Yeah, for sure.
I make gummies still for people if they want, but I don't really do it much anymore. But I mean, I made gummies. I made Tootsie Rolls. I made the candies there. Those Werthers. I made Werthers.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Werthers were good, man. They were freaking good. I had people eating them. They bought 3-4 bags of me, right? They'd eat them like 10 pieces. It was like 100 milligrams or whatever. Guy would tell me he ate them all one before he realized what he did because they were so good. You know?
Oh no, that's dangerous.
I got a text from a buddy, so I sent him a couple chocolate bars. They're 900 milligram chocolate bars, and they're divvied up into 8 pieces. So each piece is 112.5 milligrams. And my buddy sends me a picture of the text that his brother sent him, and all it said was 2 pieces felt like acid.
Guys, I'm running late. Just a sec, Rick, please. I'm running late on the chat, and there were some good comments I missed. First of all, Rob is asking, what's the menu for next year, Brian?
Yeah. We got a new special coming out in January.
Awesome. Danny brought up a good point earlier, and it kind of changed subjects, but remember when the Formula 1 banned all the tobacco ads on the cars and stuff, and we're out there watching hockey with freaking betting ads over and over? It's crazy. Like, the morality 100%. Is so weird. Like, it's freaking,
sports betting in a freaking sports league. How the hell is that right?
It's
And the
not.
funny thing is, we all like no, but the funny thing is like 4 or 5 years ago when they were talking about them being collusion and the salary cap going up, we were all like, yeah, let's have it, let's bet
True.
on this shit.
Crazy.
I was
Crazy.
fucking all for it, but now I'm like,
Here's the thing.
I was
I'm not against. I'm
It's-
not against sports betting at all. It's just you can't advertise like that. You can't.
I agree.
People,
I get
who
it.
want
Yeah.
and willingly want to bet will find it. You don't need to advertise that shit. Exactly like you don't
I
need to
agree.
advertise your fucking drug sellers downtown Montreal.
It should-
People will find them.
yeah.
Shouldn't
Yeah.
be pushed by the league, though.
Oh, that's true. But
The
is it the
league
league?
is not
As
the one that should be in because that collude. I mean, there's all. It opens up all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
yeah, you know Evander Kane is not going to give his 100% every game if you can legally
No, but
bet.
But it opens up sport fixing games. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just the
I
wrong
agree,
look.
man.
It's just totally wrong, man. And
Yeah.
listen, my mother remarried, and he had a gambling problem. So I know what gambling can do
Yeah,
people in their lives and stuff. And it's wrong. It's just totally wrong.
can be
It
as
reminds me of
bad
something
as. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
It reminds me something my mom used to say whenever somebody was cheap, like oh they're getting advertising dollars on the jerseys, on the helmets, the fucking digital boards, like all this stuff, and now you need these ads, like they are squeezing the nickel until the beaver shits is fucking what my mom used to say. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
And you know, and in the name of the pandemic and all the lost money they had, but they're going to now take in like 10 times
But
what
they
they freaking lost.
and they take it from the players. They're all bitching like the players
True.
haven't paid them back.
Brian.
Like, Tyler,
Is that
Yes.
a common saying in Anglo Canada?
squeeze the nickel till the beaver shits.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not common,
I don't
it's
know.
not.
It was a common saying in my house, Pat.
Nice. Anglo Canada does have a few nice gems, huh?
Yeah. And we don't have the culture that you guys have there, but
Well, not our fromage d'ici for sure. We got some pretty good cheese.
quick.
Well, we have a culture.
Am I right?
too.
No, I was kidding, Rick. It's fake hate, and
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
we do
Listen,
this.
my ex-wife is French. I am not an.
Nice.
People think I'm against the French.
Where are you
No.
located,
My kids
Rick?
are half French. Hey, what's that?
What province are you located in?
I'm in Montreal. I'm in Dorval.
Oh, so you're good. You don't need to be French. You're Quebecois. You're with me against Brian. Is what I'm trying to
I
say.
appreciate. Listen, I really
Look, I'll
appreciate.
get a cable for my fucking face. Like, Jesus Christ.
I appreciate you calling me Quebecois, but boy, that you'd be the first one ever to call an English person in Quebec a Quebecois. Listen, I wasn't
In
born here.
Montreal, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many
We're not
people-
considered Quebecois in Quebec. I'm not.
I think you
should
are,
be.
man. I think you are.
No, I agree with you. I think I am, but I mean, not too many French people will tell me that. Even in my ex-wife's family,
I kept
nobody would
expo-
say that.
I kept exposing how stupid people were when they were talking about local players, but always leaving Tory Mitchell out. Right?
Yeah.
He's fucking from Montreal, you idiots. That's
know.
a local guy, man.
I know. I know.
Oh, yeah, he's Anglo. Yeah.
I don't know about you because you probably don't have the same thing. But when I watch, because I got to cover the Habs, right? So I watch the press conferences and stuff.
I
Do
try.
they totally just ignore us now, the English people? They just totally went the other way. And nothing wrong with French questions in the French media, but man, there's English people too.
Dude, I never watch any of the pressers anymore. Like, never.
I haven't
Probably
noticed,
because-
honestly, Rick, because I took.
Marty St. Louis complained about it. Marty St. Louis at one of them said afterward there were no English questions.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just
Uh,
assumed
I-
it was
I-
because I was watching French TV that I didn't see any English questions. To be
I
fair.
get it, but that's the one
I didn't
complaint I have
notice,
about
yeah.
the Habs this year is they really. I don't mind embracing obviously French players and all
Yeah,
that.
it's part of it.
Man, what about us? Like there's a lot of English fans too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've noticed it, Rick. It hasn't gone unnoticed there. Like,
It's
I
my
don't watch
only
any
complaint.
pressers.
It's my
Yeah.
only complaint. You know that.
And
I
I understand French pretty good. Like,
I
can even
get
fake speak
enough
it.
of it.
Yeah,
Enough of it by watching, but I think we could have at least equal time. I think equal time's fair. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
No, 60-40. We want 60-40. Fuck the French.
No, I never agree with that. Listen, before 76, I was here before 76. I mean, it was all our way. I get that. But since then, all I've asked for is, hey, it's fair. Equal time, fair. I'm not in no problem with that, but anyway. I'm sure
Yeah.
Pat and I have different complaints about that over the last whatever.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty Anglo-friendly myself, who
I
was
know
born
that.
in a bilingual household.
I'm not
So
saying you're not. I told my ex-wife.
I do
said,
mess up
"This
my
guy's a lot like
H's. I do put H's where they don't belong and take away H's where they should be, like
I think you could do
this
about
and
that.
that.
I told my ex-wife. I said the guy on there. He's from Quebec. He's a lot. He's just like you. He's you know that's why. Why do you think I watched you guys? And then when I saw that, wow, you guys look pretty cool on. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna start talking and see if I can worm my way onto the podcast.
Nice, dude. You should have just asked straight up, man. There was no working your way up. I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago. I did drop in your chat randomly at some point, and you were
I didn't know we have with you. I didn't know. I had to put it together, and I pat myself on my head like that. Like I should have known that. Freaking follow you guys on Twitter. I see you're there all the time.
Say it, my bullshit.
Self-admitted idiot.
Yeah. I accept that.
So, what do we think of the game tonight, boys?
Was there a game?
Yeah, right.
I enjoyed it.
I almost
Yeah,
fell
it wasn't a
asleep
bad
couple
game.
Times, I think.
What about
but
that
you
new
know what?
that new Richard coming to save the franchise?
I was embarrassed on that goal. So I thought it was Armia, right? I see the number
I
zero.
remember, yeah.
I thought it was,
Yep.
I'm going Armia with his first goal, yeah, and then it's Richard, and I went, oh, I like just totally miscalled that. Like, too bad. Yeah, I like
And
that
he
kid. That new kid.
Armia almost tucked one in. Like that guy's
Always
more
does.
snake bitten than I've seen anybody. Like, and we've seen some streaky scores on the edge of goals in Montreal, but my God, is that guy gripping it?
You know my
fucking hard
opinion
right
on
now.
that,
I
right?
did
Ryan?
one of my
system.
It's just him?
carols. One of my Christmas carols was Yol Armia. You know the first Noel, so I call it the first Yoel.
First Yoel, nice.
That's
And in there, I
yeah.
say
What,
that
like
he just makes us all weep. He comes so close, and he just makes us all weep over that he can't.
Tell me what you think about this, Rick, because I've said this on the pod before. For me, I think Armia is one of the guys that doesn't benefit from Martin St. Louis concepts or systems or whatever you call them. He's creative and creating confusing plays for guys like Yoel Armia or even Josh Anderson that are pretty South North players that don't like fancy plays. I don't think they benefit from this system at all.
Okay, it's not about fancy plays, but what you're saying is being north-south like that, they're not as creative. And
Exactly,
under Martin
yep.
St. Louis,
Yep.
he wants to bring out the creativity in these guys.
Right,
And, yeah,
and these guys, they're just rush
You might
the
be
net
right.
and crash it. So I don't think they can shine under that kind of
You
system.
might be
in
right.
my
Except,
opinion.
listen, Armia kind of has been frustrating us for a few seasons. It's not
Yeah,
like
but
this-
he always would have this 2-goal game every now and then. Right now, it's done. Nothing, flat, zero.
Yeah.
Not a single moment of freaking.
know
Tonight
how
was
I've
the
heard-
best thing we've seen of him tonight. This
and
season.
he's always been a bit of a 200-foot player as well. Like he's not contributing anything on the defensive side of the ice right now either.
Right.
He's a penalty kill specialist at this point, right? That's what he's good
Right.
at. He's good at the penalty kill.
He used to be
And-
so good at passing the neutral zone, though. Like he,
I
he
know,
would not
I know.
lose that puck, and the board play was strong too, man. Those board
Yeah,
battles, he was the king of that, man.
He's one of those guys. He's got all the tools. Can't put it together on any game. Except every now and then, he's like Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Mario Lemieux out there, but that's one game out of this year out of 100, but like one out of every 10 games, he'd give you
yeah,
that.
for sure.
You know,
If Armia could sustain his best level of play, he'd be fucking top 10 in this league.
100%.
Top 10
He's got
forward, yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
But so could Daniel Carr. Like fuck, you know what I mean?
Do you have a
I
fucking
don't
fact
know
checker?
the
But do you have
You know
a
what?
fact checker?
You know exactly what I mean. Like that same statement can be said for
Yeah,
every
no.
single player in that league.
But Yoel Armia really feels
No,
like it's
what about-
the difference between a bad and a good game is huge. It's not little details.
Oh,
it's a
it's-
completely
yeah.
different player, man. So I don't know, man. I feel like I don't think Daniel Carr on his best fucking level of play.
Oh, that guy Steve Kendall's in a fucking phone booth. What are you talking about? He's the
No,
next
yeah.
Gallagher.
That's me fucking years ago. I said Daniel Carr would
Thomas
replace.
Vanek is another good example. It was like fucking when he had his good games, he was one of the best, right? Like
Yeah.
that could be said for anybody. Armia, I don't know. That's just like everybody's a streaky player in the NHL, right? Everybody. But I mean, like, man, his downturns are just getting too long, too frequent.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
he's
not,
gonna have
not enough upside.
he's gonna have a season-long downturn. I mean, that's
right. We're almost halfway through, and it's been really bad. But again, he's squeezing that stick.
There's Mo in the chat from Failing Hands, right? Murad, he's saying Armia is having a tough year. Something's not right with him since the last season, especially because he did so great at the championships, the World Championships, just last summer, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just messed up that sentence so bad. Anyway, so yeah, there's really something off with him in Montreal, and yeah, I don't.
It's
know.
not just no luck though. It's not luck. It's
there's something. I think it's got. I think Pat had it. Like I think there's a couple players that just benefited from the old mentality and the old regime that used to run this team. That we're kind of handcuffed with their contracts.
But wait a second though. Think about this though with Armia. I'll say it's 5 games now. The guy's done everything except score. Like he's come so close. So something like what's missing though? If he can do that for the last 5-6 games and be that good, but just can't. What's missing? What is it that's missing? This can be said,
kind of can be said about Anderson too right now. He's been looking better and better, but still not scoring lately. So it feels like Drouin has looked fucking good now for like 2 or 3
games. For 4 games,
maybe 4 games,
for
sure.
Yeah,
they're good.
And he hasn't put the puck in the net either.
Oh,
I agree.
Remember Anderson's streaky scorer, like really streaky. So.
Yeah, but he hasn't got a streak this year. That's the thing.
No,
that's not true. He's got 7 or 8 goals.
Yeah,
already.
Did he go on streak though? Like really odd for a few games in a row?
He had not like he usually does, but he's like a mini streak. Yeah, you might be right about the Marty St. Louis leaving them to be too creative.
Well, they choked the blue line with creative plays. That's just killing Anderson's speed. That's his strength. He rushes through the neutral and then he passes the opposing blue at full speed. Now you can't do that because they make a fancy play and the puck is like going sideways. Now you got to shove the brakes and you lose that one special thing you have, which is speed.
And that's the thing too. He's got great top speed. He doesn't have good
acceleration.
That's it.
Is that true 100%? Maybe from a stop.
He's got decent
but I've seen him pull away from guys when he's in mid-stride.
Yeah.
Mid-stride maybe, but not
the first.
If you have to stop to let somebody onside.
But he's lacking explosiveness in his skating, right? So he's not exploding at the start. But when he's going, he's
hard to catch. He's a workhorse that way for sure. I remember I was telling Pat last year one of the great plays that he and Drouin used to do was Drouin would ice the puck, knowing full well that he would get there in time to negate the icing.
Good old dumping chase.
Like I'd seen them do that half a dozen times, and it worked. But again, that's not a fancy play fucking going through the neutral zone. That's somebody taking a slap shot down the ice from the fucking their own blue line, right?
No, exactly. Yep.
Not too much creativity in that.
Well, speaking of lack of creativity, what do you guys think of the drop pass on that?
I fucking hate it. We've been you know what? You should talk about that because we've been through it a lot. We complain about that about every show, man.
I hate it, man. I mean, they're starting to break it up now, but I mean, the teams know what's coming.
When
they fucking played
sucks,
LA, guys, when they played LA, they did it fucking like 3 times in the first period, 5-on-5. It wasn't even a fucking power play. I remember I tweeted it, and then Engels tweeted it like 3 minutes later. I'm like, what the fuck? Is this the Twilight Zone? What are they doing?
And you know what?
Apparently it's trying to break through the trap or something. I don't fucking know.
We were just talking about the fact that they're not getting enough speed going. Like, it's stifling a guy like Anderson. But that drop pass screws up all of that.
You lose all the
they have no foot speed. They're not going anywhere, and they got to catch up. It's wrong.
It's so wrong, Rick, that they will literally fucking lose the zone, and they'll all come back to their own fucking zone to regroup to do it again. They won't bring it back in and fucking if it comes out, they got to go do that again. It's insanity.
I know.
It's insanity.
You're wasting your fast players going full speed, shoving the brakes. I fucking hate it. Like, they've wasted energy building that speed, and you're just killing it right there. What's going on, man?
If you did it 3 times out of 10, and then tried to gain the zone 3 times out of 10 and then dumped it in 3 times out of 10, you keep the defense guessing of what you're doing. There's absolutely no fucking question what we're about to do. As soon as somebody hits the fucking red line, they're dropping it back. I've seen them drop it back with no one back there. So somebody's just circling around to fucking come pick it up. They're fucking throwing it in their own zone with nobody in the zone.
I know, it's ridiculous. The other thing you mentioned that I don't agree with is you mentioned dumping it in. I don't know. You got the power play, you got the man advantage. You're dumping it in to give it away to puck. I don't understand that. I never have.
The dump and chase has always been a strategy when you're underskilled compared to the other team. So if you go larger. You bring the battle.
Take another,
but here's the thing.
Player out of the numbers. You can now make it 4-on-3 by going behind the net.
Maybe, but here's the thing. You're turning the play into a 50-50 battle, which is a draw. It's like your odds are pretty good. 50-50 is good odds, man. Like you have one chance out of two. So the dump and chase is a race.
But if you walk into a wall at the blue line and you turn over the puck at the blue line, it's like you could be going back with odd man numbers the other way.
True.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's nuance to everything, right? Like if you've got nothing, like I'm not saying you're going into rush to try and gain the zone, looking up and being, I'm going to dump it in, we're going to dump it in, and all going to crash in. Well, but there are times whenever you've got nothing to do, get it into the zone instead of fucking losing it at their blue line. You know?
Do you remember?
5 times on the same power play, just once after.
I wouldn't dump it on the power play.
It's the same thing as the slingshot. As soon as you do it too many times, it's coachable, and then you could fucking coach against it.
Yeah, right.
Well, here's the thing: the dump and chase, you can try to outcoach it, but it's still going to be a race. And if your guys are coming full speed, it's a 50-50 battle, man. Like the coach that know they don't have the strongest lineup, love a fucking dump and chase because you're turning it into a draw.
Right.
Or the bigger
playing the odds, man.
I guess
slower forwards.
Fast team. I guess because they're a fast team, they're figuring they can catch the puck.
Do you guys remember the years of Jacques Martin, like that fucking horrible dump and play that never worked? So the guy was betting on his guys, but we had the slowest team, so we would never win them, and it was always poop, get out.
I'll put it this way: like dump and chase is a derivative. It's a derivative of playoff hockey. It's a series thing where you're going to crash and bang into their top defenseman as much as you can, try and wear them down over a 7-game series. A dump and chase has always been old style hockey. And it's useful at times, just like old style hockey. It's not going to be the Michigan. No. I would never suggest that. But but it's like to slingshot it every time is just as bad as even like.
Oh no, it's worse. It's worse. It's fucking worse, dude. It is the worst.
You're literally going backwards.
I hate it, dude. Yeah.
By the way, Jacques Martin, where hockey games go to fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly. I fucking hated that era. And when people...
A whole fucking decade was terrible for fucking sleepy hockey, man.
I don't know, man.
And it was horrible management group.
For me, Jacques Martin is the top most fucking boring years we've had.
Oh, God.
It beats the latest ones where with Bergevin. That's nothing compared to Jacques Martin for me. That was hard to watch, man.
You see people like bring back Jacques Martin, like why?
As your defensive coach, do it. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, but not as head coach.
No, fuck no. Dude, we're missing out on a good chat because I'm stoned as fuck.
Go ahead with the chat. Can't see it very much.
So Danny's saying we genuinely lack structure in our game. Creativity is one thing, but amounts to nothing without framework. Just having Guy Boucher to coach the power play instead of Alex Burrows would be great. Big balls call, man. Guy Boucher on the power play. And I don't think Guy Boucher comes for a job like that. I think he's not coming back for less than head coach or at least assistant, I guess.
Yeah, probably not.
I take issue with the whole Burrows in charge of the power play anyway.
I don't take issue with it. The problem is older than Burrows.
Well, the
problem is after 3 years and 3 coaches, if it's not being handled by more than just fucking Alexander Burrows, then it's an indictment on the management team. It's an indictment on the entire thing. There's not one person in charge of that power play for it to be this fucking bad. If they don't have their hands in it now, then it's a failure on their part.
So what do you do?
There's no way it's just Alex's Burrows power.
No, for sure.
They all have their hands in that, trying to make it better right now.
I know. I would think you're right. Well, St. Louis has his hand in anyway. He oversees it, even though he's not the power.
You could tell just by the fact that we have 5 forwards this year, and that's never happened before. You know what I mean?
They're missing a power play quarterback desperately on this team.
Yeah. This team has never been the same since Markov left.
Yeah, no, power play's never been the same. And that's the real reason, really. Good to see giving Gooley a chance, because Gooley's run a power play for the last 3 years in junior. But
anybody see Lane Hudson tonight? He was dancing all over the ice.
Yeah. Lane Hudson's the guy. Lane Hudson's the guy that should be in the sights right now unless they get somebody else.
I don't think I'm gonna be calling the next Markov again. I've been wrong so many times. It's not happening. There's no such thing as a new Markov, guys. It won't happen.
I didn't call him Markov. I didn't say that. I said
you're right. You're right.
Power play quarterback that they got.
I'll come out and tell you my biggest. Like, you know, whenever you're like, no, this is what we should do, and then you look back and you're like, I was a fucking idiot for thinking that. Back in the day, I wanted to let Andrei Markov off and give all of his money to Thomas Vanek at the end of that fucking season.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, dude, that's rough.
Is there any good takes in here?
The things we think when we're young.
That's a good one, man.
Blame it on.
Didn't even have to explain it.
I will later though, just cause.
Vanek was a big disappointment.
I gotta take this shit. Oh man, the easiest breakup I've ever fucking had. Like, I fell in love with the guy, and then it was like he cheated on me with my sister or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He was so promising. Like, we got Vanek.
Guys, do you remember though? Like, it was a known thing that he would go to play with his buddy in Minnesota. There was no surprise there. Exactly what everybody said would happen happened.
I didn't have Twitter then. I didn't know any of that shit.
Oh yeah, you were on Twitter then, dude, for sure. I was on Twitter then. You were on Twitter then.
I didn't get that from Twitter, but they were talking about it on the radio.
Oh, what's that, Brian?
Oh, a little gifty poo in the stocking.
Oh, there you go. What is it?
Do you really not know what it is?
No.
Andrea is so fucking awesome, dude. Oh my
She's the
god.
best, man.
Oh
I still wouldn't even have a studio.
Hang on, don't put it out. Now I so wish it's something dumb like a dick sticker. That would be awesome. Right on street. Aw. A real nice gift. What is it, Shatter?
What we got there?
Ooh, Hawaiian Snow.
Shatter. I've never smoked Shatter.
It's really? Oh shit!
It's lovely.
Do you remember, Brian? Do you remember when I was a flower snob?
Of course I do.
I'm not a snob about. I'm not.
No, I was. I'm not saying you were. You are. I was. I was definitely a snob.
It's also a term. Like, it's not. It's like a general term. It's like not. It's not something that you call somebody. It's like somebody who just smokes flowers, a flower snob. It's not. It's just. It's your label. Wear it properly.
I've been smoking. I'm going to be 60 in February. I've been smoking since the first time I smoked, I was 9. It's 50 years, over 50
That's
years.
Insane.
I'm so used to smoking doobies. I smoke other ways, and it just doesn't do it for me.
Oh, this way.
Edibles in general don't do it for me.
Oh yes.
I'm not a big edible guy.
I actually don't take many edibles either. I find it's like it makes your tolerance grow the fastest of anything.
Yeah, it's the worst.
That's a good way to put it, actually, Brian. That's a good way to put it.
Grows
basically, the only time I use edibles, Rick, I make fucking deadly edibles. Let's just put it out. I use shatter to make it.
By the way, that was beautiful, Brian. Beautiful shatter, man. The shatter you just showed, man. It was pretty freaking clean.
I make butter.
So yeah, I only use edibles whenever I can't smoke. So like when we're going grocery shopping, and like I can't smoke in the car anymore.
That's the worst for me, man. That's the worst. When the buzz kicks in at the grocery store, oh man, that's a bad time for me. Oh, what am I doing here, man? I'm staring at people with my own fucking cart.
Oh yeah,
horrible.
First time I get high on edibles, I came home. I was at my dad's place. My dad was the grower. Anyways, I'm coming home and it hit me on the bus, and I got off the bus and I had to walk. I don't know, 7-8 blocks home, and the sidewalk felt like it was this wide. I was all over the freaking place. Anybody saw me walking was sure I was smashed drunk out of my mind. That's why I was walking. It was so funny, but it's so hit and miss for me. I can take. I heard you guys talking the last time. You can take 1,000 milligrams, right?
No, I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it on like.
I've done it.
300 is my sweet spot.
Oh no, I've
That's
eaten like
insane, dude.
40 gummies, 10 milligram gummies.
So Rick, you decarb your shit.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe not 1,000, but I've eaten a ton like that. But and it doesn't do anything a lot of times.
Rick,
Do
do you decarb your flour before everything?
God,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Good. That's a big factor in misses.
You would be surprised how many people do not.
And do not properly. You got it. Yeah,
or the
abs-
butter or,
yeah. The
you
THCA turn into
bake with
THC.
it. Bacon any way with it, you have to decarb it.
That's right.
Yeah, when you're baking, but when you're making candy, just melting it or chocolate, like you said earlier, you had a hard time with it. It's the easiest. It's really super.
Yeah.
But then again, here's the thing: you're starting with can of butter, right? That's how you start your recipe, is it? No, do you start with butter?
For shatter, I do. I make butter. That's how I use. That's what I do.
Right.
So that's the base for all your edibles, is it?
Yeah, butter. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
butter.
does complicate things a bit versus using shatter,
Yes.
in my opinion. Because shatter, you decarb the shatter in a small silicone cup, then you just shove it in your recipe, you mix it well, and it's gone. As if you have fat, or if you have oil, or chocolate is fat, so it will bind to chocolate easily. as fuck.
Here's the other thing:
He's
is
laughing
whenever
at
you're using
it.
flour,
We do.
whenever you're using flour, you're straining it out. When you use shatter oil or
Yeah.
you use extract, you're leaving everything in there, so there's no more guesswork, right? So if your shatter's tested to 60%, that's 600 milligrams. That's how much is in there. There's no guessing.
I get that. I get that point. That's a good point.
So you may think that you've got 10 milligram gummies there, but you might have 2 milligram gummies. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
because using flour is hard to extract.
I get
all
it.
your
I
food.
get it. But when it passes the test from people taking it, and it passes the test like that, you kind of know that you got it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You also. I know.
Yeah, good point, boy. Good point, man.
I know. Like, you also can't take people's words for it because, like, like even Rude Dog, who might even be in the chat right now, he takes 10 milligrams and he is fucking blasted, man. You know what I mean?
I put my friend KO on a couch for 8 hours like that.
You know who's taking it. You know, you can at least get to it. But your point is 100% valid, of course. But how do you make the shatter without?
You strain your material through butane first.
You do
then
butane.
And you cook the butane
I just
off.
want to put it in there that this is
like right here next to me is my setup right here. Like I've got an oven and a vacuum oven and stuff like that. It's worth it to invest on it.
We were gonna do that, but I didn't want to do the butane thing, and we made
Guys, be right
RSO
back. That's
with Simpson oil. I make.
Yeah, right on. So you use Everclear for that?
No, you got to use the opposite or the cheap stuff. You use
ISO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 99%, not the
Right.
cheap. Yeah. It's not as good. It's not as good, but I mean, Everclear it takes away the. I mean, it makes
the thing about Everclear is like it's not poison to ingest, so you don't have to cook it all off to be 100% safe.
Yeah, with isopropyl.
With ISO, you need to get it all out. Yeah,
you gotta be careful. Yeah, you gotta be careful. I agree.
What
with
happened
that.
to Pat?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yo,
I don't know
I was trying to find my
there
tube.
somewhere.
trying to find my tube for extraction to show, but we're renovating out there. It's fucking it's crazy. So I don't know where we put it, dude. Your fake freaking stomach is awesome. Yeah, I wanted to show my space rocket one, Ryan, the one on the stand in stainless.
I researched how to make oil with butane and all that. I just didn't do it.
You just got to respect it. That's all. If you're not an idiot, it's fine. That's it.
I started
you smoke while you're doing it, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
Well, same thing with RSO. You don't smoke anywhere near it. Yeah, you gotta have it well ventilated.
Dude, it's crazy.
So people ask me, it's like, don't you find it dangerous to work with those materials? And I was like, for idiots, 100% it's dangerous.
100% it is. You're right. 100%.
No more. I'm fine, guys. I started making edibles in Brian's DMs. Actually, you remember that?
Yeah.
My first projects were starting with can of butter, and then I tried to make mango puree to start my candy.
I do remember that.
So I would have
I remember that exact conversation.
That was fucking crazy, dude. Go try to push
push my
with mangoes. So here's the thing. Here's the fiber of the mango It's fucking bullshit to work with. I'll tell you, it's impossible to make a good candy out of it. It's so weird. The fiber in it doesn't work. It has the worst texture.
Mango's supposed to help.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make my. That's exactly why I wanted to start with a mango paste. That's the science behind it, man. It didn't work. Then I evolved into. Brian really broke down the mats to a point when he told me how to calculate my dosage. I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. I didn't think of that before. It's so easy to with shadow.
It's the easiest formula in the world. Yeah.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it, but yeah, I had a pretty easy formula to figure it out.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't like. It is what it is. Like when you have to like, you can know that your flour is 18%, but if you're soaking it in butter and then straining it through a cheesecloth, you don't know how much is actually coming out.
Another angle for you, 18% is a fucking average. Every bud doesn't have 18%. You have fucking 20% in 40 days. So they're off the bat, it's you don't know shit. What your extract, what you have is what you have. So if you have 1 gram and it's 80% per, well, that's 800 milligrams. Easy like that. There's nothing hard to calculate about it. It's easy like that.
And a formula for it.
So yeah, I wanted to point out, guys, that this is the best power play conversation ever.
Maybe if they were doing dabs before the game, the power play might be more creative and better.
Yeah, I agree. I'll maybe have Alex Burrows dab before the game.
Or fucking microdose mushrooms, man. Get the fucking creativity.
Yeah, you know what? It's awesome that you say that, Brian, because I love how you went publicly to say that microdosing shrooms has helped you beat your depression, dude. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's so taboo. People have no clue that shrooms are probably the next big thing in LT. Yeah. Way better than
anybody. In 4 months. In 4 months, I went from being pretty depressed.
What's your dosage you do? 0.2?
No, I do under half a gram. I do a high dose for a microdose because I like to feel it. I like to feel it, so I do usually 0.35 to half a gram.
Okay.
Hey, but at the same time, psilocybin's the same thing as edibles as well. Like if you're doing a 0.35 today, by the time you're doing 0.35 on Friday, it's not even touching it. So like,
no, I don't. First of all, I only do it maximum 4 times a week. I do it only on game days. I only do it on game days. Yeah, microdosing should only be normally you take it and then 2 days you don't. Then you take it and 2 days you don't. But I read something about somebody who was talking about how microdosing and not doing that like more often helped them become way better at their job and getting to where they wanted to be. So I said, I'm going to start using this on game days when I have shows, and it's made my show, made me that much better. I'm uninhibited in what I'll say. I'll do, I won't stand up and whip my dick out or anything. But
boring.
At least not until 5 minutes in.
Right, at least not. But I'm uninhibited in what I'll say. I am a lot more energetic.
Yeah.
Way more energetic.
Awesome,
and
dude.
it's really helped. And then by curing my depression, I'm not starting from a negative place. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's really been great.
Awesome,
let me show you what I've got here.
Sure,
you
dude.
know that I'm not lying yet.
Well, my experience with mushrooms, I like to do the hero's dose every 3 months. I like to do 4 or 5 grams every 3 months or whatever.
It doesn't really, for me, it wouldn't really do anything for my depression. This was, was designed for that. That's what my main jar. It's blue meanies too. Blue meanies are the strong ones. So,
I've got blue meanies upstairs.
The blue meanie, that's what they call me out west.
after a Beatles song, right? Yellow Submarine.
Nice.
Meanies.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's in
I learned something today.
Yeah, that's in there. The blue meanies.
Oh yeah, sure. By the way, Brian, Rob was asking why you stopped stripping.
Sweet, I'm warm, dude. That was crazy. The only
Send them money.
Yeah, so Rob is gonna strip fully naked on the Patreon.
Yeah. $2 a month.
Did you guys get donations yet? No, I guess not. You're not monetized, right?
We had.
Send
nice.
Send it all to Talking Habs. Send money, send it to Talking Habs. I'll take it, no problem.
Nice. We have 3 idiots that put money in, but it's me, Brian, and Matt, so that's not going too far.
Money where though? How do you do I don't know. Can you get money?
Dude, yeah, no, not on Discord. We didn't get donations. That's us. The 3 idiots that put money in is us. But we do. So look how fancy we are. We got a joint account, all 3 of us now. Pretty big. We're big balling now. Next thing up is, I'm announcing it now. It's coming up soon. We'll have the merch shop up, coming up pretty soon. So yeah, I don't think we'll make much money from advertisement ever. But I think we have crazy fans that might buy a shirt or 2 or a hat
who's organizing that for you?
Me and Matt have been meeting about it. That's a bit that's a bit.
You guys know how that works?
Yeah, we've actually just figured it out.
Wait, I'm putting pressure on you right now. On the air live.
Nice.
Help with that. I need to find somebody that can.
I will tell you what I learned, and I'm learning, but it is more complex than I was expecting at first, because we don't want to just sell that one thing. And
I know it is.
And I'll say I'm lazy as fuck, so it has to be super easy, where we don't take care of anything at all, and we just get the money at the end. Okay, so we're gonna make our own designs. That's the thing we engage to. I have a sick one ready right now. So we're building up a few designs first, and when we have a few of them ready, we'll open it. So we're talking probably at worst early January, but maybe before, right?
It takes, you got to build up. You can't launch too early, because then you're fucked, man. If you we
don't do the inventory. They do the inventory.
I know that. I know.
Yeah. But there's monthly fees to cover, so yeah, you want to sell quite a bit at starting off the bat. You don't want to go on idle for weeks. You're gonna end up paying for that.
Yeah. No, I get that. But anyways, if you ever want to feel pity on,
I will.
I could use some help on that.
Better yet, Rick, come sell on our shop. Easy like that, man. We'll write you the check. You put that as a travailleur autonome on your fucking income. There we go. Yeah, good. Let's do it.
I'm good for that.
Awesome.
Let's talk.
Right. So everyone in the chat go take a break for 5 minutes and come back.
You know what I say about that?
So the next chocolate is going to be.
But listen, what I say about that is, don't mind. You know what? If you sell enough in volume enough, it doesn't matter how big your piece is.
Well, that's what we're saying. Like a couple, a couple home runs, or even a single home run can make your whole year.
Rick, remember the
fucking Jack Petrie shirt.
I was going right there. Remember the one with the laser eyes?
Whoever that guy is, if he
made a few bucks, man.
He did that legit, then he fucking made some money.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. And
so
then
you hit 1 or 2 a year.
Habs tonight on the Sasquatch thing there. They're making a ton of money on that shit.
Awesome, man.
Got a Slavkovsky shirt out there. They're making money on that.
We've got some pretty good fucking ideas.
Like, oh yeah, man.
We've been sitting here on our hands hoping that nobody comes out with our designs, right? Because we've got some killer fucking ideas.
Awesome. Sure. I've got a few too, and I need somewhere. I don't know how to do it, so yeah, we got to hook up for this.
Yeah, let's do that off cam.
Let's do that off camera.
Yeah, I know. I just had to make my pitch so that I put.
Yeah,
I love it, dude. You don't even have to work that hard, man. Like we want. It's something we've discussed. We'd like to really connect all the potters out there, and it's fun that we have Murad coming in the chat. You can pass the word to John and Mike, man. We'd love to, and we've collabed with our friends out west, Blaine and Trege.
Oh, you know that?
So yeah. So we'd like all the pods to fucking get together. We share that passion that we all freaking love, man.
Awesome. I knew there's something about you guys. I said I gotta hook up with these guys. It's
man.
But I like you guys.
It's good for everybody, man.
And I thought this is a good.
Thanks for reaching out. Thank you.
Yeah, no, listen. Thanks for not even hesitating to say yes.
For sure, man. Yeah.
I think. When we started, we were like, we'll have a Habs talk and we'll talk about dabs. And, I think we filtered to just, we just want to shoot the shit with fucking cool people.
Yeah,
God, that's what I want to do for a podcast. Right? That's my idea, is just have a bunch of people that you connect with and talk about not only hockey, but other things, whatever the topic of the day is, whatever's going on.
And I think it's awesome that we have 3 people here that make their own edibles and extracts and stuff like that, right? It's awesome. We have some cannabis nerds and Habs fan in common, and we have a lot in common with other people too, right? So it's fun. I think it's fun to mix it up with other people. You know, nobody's making TV deals out of this, right? We're all doing it for fun. We're all doing it because we love our team and we love to talk about it. And some of us,
you never
smoke.
know. Look, speaking of Blaine and Trig, they've got the number
awesome,
4 hockey podcast in Canada, don't they?
Yeah, but that's because Trig bullies people. Like, he goes house to house. You listen to my fucking shit, I'll punch the shit out of you, dude. And that's how it happens.
You're the sexiest podcaster in Canada.
Yeah, that's right. He put a picture of his dad on Twitter. Looks just like him.
Dude. Well, I'll say,
like him.
If there's one nice thing I can say about Trig, his dad is beautiful. I'm kidding. I love the guy. I'm kidding.
He seems like a really nice guy. I don't know him personally, but
he's not as nice as Blaine, but he's nice.
So you might know the podcast I was talking about that they kind of hired me. They're friends of Blaine and Trig. It's called now Habs. Fuck, 2 guys out of Toronto. Well, Vinny, you know.
Vin, yeah, Vin,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, his podcast with the 2. He's the one who got the job over me.
Wasn't it Habs Nightly?
Oh, Habs.
I remember them. They're super cool, and they're the one that started messing around with sounds during their live stream. And I'm like, how does that fucker DJ live? Yeah,
I was supposed to have
that's really what motivated me. So since we're talking about it right now. Right? Ain't that shit?
Yeah, that's right. Fucking disco, man.
Fucking disco, man.
Oh, lovely.
So Vin got my job. I wasn't good enough, and they picked the right guy. I mean,
I'm sorry, Rick. I'm sorry, but that guy's so fucking sexy. You can't feel bad falling second to that guy, man. I'd feel pretty good being the guy that denied for Vin. Hey, whoa.
He's all cock and jawline. Like, fuck, you can't.
Italian.
Yeah, for sure.
Italian. No, Italian.
That's another guy we've had on the old pod, man. We had a
seems
bunch
like
of
a nice
collabs.
guy.
He is.
So, you know his podcast, whatever his podcast name is, that's
for some guy I feel bad.
The last 30 years?
No, not the one.
That's the other one. That's about like TV and shit. That's his second one. But the one he got hired on, it's Habs something. It's like,
I feel super bad for Friggy because I love all of them, man. They're good people. Fuck.
That's that they hired him instead of giving me full time. I was supposed to be part time, and then they hired him.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to compete with a guy like Vin, man. Italian, probably makes his own fucking pasta every night. Picture him, butt naked with his apron. It's hard to beat.
He's the kind of guy who fucking run a marathon smoking cigarettes. You just can't. You can't.
He wouldn't he's too classy to smoke cigarettes. Impossible, dude. He'd probably a pipe.
A pipe.
Bob,
at the little water tables, he stops for a Chardonnay. He doesn't fucking stop for one.
Yeah.
See some of my regulars out there.
He was there. Was there for a while.
Guys. Have a listen. Have a listen.
Have a listen. Yeah, that's Dan. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
I was on there. I was supposed to be part-time. I was supposed to be a part-time host on there.
But like I said, Rick, you can't feel bad for losing to Vin. That sexy motherfucker.
I don't feel bad at all.
No.
You know what? I was
guys, take a minute to picture him, butt naked, making his own pasta with an apron. Oh man, he's the guy's
just an apron. Yeah.
Just an apron, that's all he needs, man.
I prefer not. I'm having enough trouble
I
dealing with
prefer not.
Fucking
sexy beast, that guy, man.
He's filling a cannoli thinking about it. Think about it.
Man, my ovaries are fucking tickling right now.
You guys are fucking nuts, man.
Sorry, Brian. Guys, I lost it.
I like that. You win this podcast. Woo! Way to go. Maybe you are the star.
Yeah, no, but Vin has been, he's an old timer on Twitter, eh? Well, not this account.
Well, isn't he? Is he on a hiatus right now, though?
Is he like flip a coin?
I think so. Hold on, let me get this back on here.
I've seen it. You're right, though. I don't see very many posts, but you might be right that the last post I saw, he said he was taking.
No, but here's
here's
the joke. Rick, here's the joke. He takes a fucking IATIS like 10 times a year. So he resets. Sometimes he's like, okay, I have too many followers. Just shut down the account. It shuts down So it's
he did that to me twice. He did that to me twice, but he kept me. He kept me every time. I was actually honored about that.
I had to harass him that one time, but after that, every time he has me now. But he broke my heart, man. No pictures of apron and butt naked making his own pasta. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. It's hard. It's hard to get that out of my head.
Yeah.
You got
I'll talk to the big guy. See if I can get you a gift this Christmas. A little Vinny under your Christmas tree.
Vinny Chippendale special.
Wouldn't that be something?
Sounds like that's what you'd like to see,
bro. That's probably worth a lot. Fuck that. It's all over there. I'm drinking. What is it?
Habs or Habs not? Is that a podcast there, Bob? Sorry, I was looking at the chat.
I think maybe it's because we haven't been talking about hockey at all, which is great, but also not great.
Let's get back to hockey.
What else is there to talk about? Like, God, that was such a boring game.
Was it?
I wasn't bored by it. Oddly.
Oh, I found
it. There was low-key good.
Go ahead.
Boring plays, but good boring plays, right? So I see but I like that kind of play.
There was enough good action that I guess I didn't notice the boring part, or when I was looking at the chat and I didn't notice the boring parts. I guess.
Fair enough.
Happens, but I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed it. Disappointed a little bit at the end.
Picked up a point against what's supposed to be one of the better teams in the league.
I love these guys on Twitter. Sean, I'm gonna give a shout out. Sean and Mike Vini on Twitter that start complaining about the loser point every time it's a tight game. I love them, dude. They're hilarious.
Look,
I know a lot of people have beef with Sean. I love him, man. I love Sean. He's cocky, just like he's an educated man. He's smart. He can be a bit cocky, right? Like I love Sean, man. Okay. I don't always agree with him, and yeah, like Rob, I guess.
I like Rob.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think I know Sean.
I'm not gonna fully name him because I just said a lot of people are probably. I don't know people are asking him. Sean, people who know him. I'll DM you the link to his profile. That's cool. Yep. About tonight. What's his face? Their goalie there, man. I feel like he let in. Who?
Georgiev.
Georgiev. Yeah, that guy. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Doesn't matter.
Georgiev,
it's crazy that guy. How he's played when he's played like a number one, and yet he has enough ice to get warm. He's a fucking good goalie, but when he played as a second, like an auxiliary, he sucked ass, man. He's crazy.
Well, how old is he?
Oh, he's 5 or 26. He's not old.
Well, I mean, that could just be the progression of his career too.
Older. He might be older than that. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
goalie plays better when they play more games. It just depends on.
Oh, no,
are they good enough to be playing the more games? You know what I mean? If they're not good enough to be your starter goalie, but most goalies are play better hockey when they play more hockey.
Unless you're Jake Allen.
I think it takes a certain mindset, maybe, to be a backup.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. It does.
You know?
Yeah. I find a lot a lot of the more successful backups aren't the ones who are really fighting for the top job. They're the ones who accept their role, kinda. You know what I mean? Right. There was a time when I was done with UFA goalies to be backing up Carey. I was done with it because we'd seen them all, right? It was a revolving door. But near the end there, I was hoping that they were going to actually open the purse strings a little bit and find somebody who is up and coming. I believe Tristan Jerry's name was available before Price went down. Yes, when he was an RFA. I remember back in the day I wanted that to happen, and I think I've gone back the other way. I think we need the older guy to be backing up the younger guy who's fighting for the job now.
Fighting
saying
for
you
the
do not
job
do
is a dangerous thing for me in that. Like it's a short term thing, right? You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't think unless, and I feel like the last good before Jake Allen with Carey Price would have been great, guys. That would have been a perfect fit. Jake Allen knows he cannot be a really solid number one because he cannot sustain that rate. I'm pretty sure he knows that by now about himself.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
So that was perfect, man. Now, man, I'm not sure I was like the competition of a guy that wants. For an example, when's the last time we really had a good secondary goalie before Jake Allen? For me, it's Peter Budaj. And what happened? We played Tokarski.
He was the best
of him
of the mediocre goalies. He was the best of the mediocre
because he
goalies,
accepted
but-
his role. He didn't want to be number one. He accepted it. He was just
Well,
that's my
so
job.
did-
I'm good.
So did Montoya, and so did Niemi.
they were-
You know what I mean? They accepted
but
that role too.
they
It's
suck,
just
yeah.
they suck.
Niemi had
Sorry?
one good. Didn't
It's true.
Niemi have one good year here as a
Of
backup?
course, they all had one good year.
Didn't
Oh,
Kincaid have kind of a good start too?
Who?
Kincaid.
Oh, Kincaid.
Like his first few games, he was looking good, and then never really popped.
Oh, but okay, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying looking good. I say looking okay, but I don't know. He just.
Think about this, Rick. We had in our possession Devin Dubnyk. Wouldn't if he had been the fucking best one to back up Carey for the entire fucking time he was here?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what happened with that? I mean, it was a horrible season.
Future considerations. We traded him for
No, I know
future
that,
considerations.
but-
Yeah.
I mean, what did he do when he was here? It was before he got.
He wasn't great, but I mean he wasn't terrible.
I guess you got to look at who was
I think
here.
it was probably contractual. I was probably contractual, right? Like he probably wanted $3.5 million, and you can't spend 15 in net, right? So
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I just. I
was
don't
it?
know.
You watch? I bet you the timing is right on. Right whenever Price re-signed, right before he re-signed. I bet. Just like if you look it up.
It's 4 years ago, no? Price has 4 years left, so it was 4 years ago.
Wouldn't it have been 5 if he you start the next season?
That could
I
be.
think
Yeah, right.
So it was like what, 16, 15?
Looking it up, guys.
What 16 was what? No, it was 5 years.
2016.
Oh, right. I guess, yeah.
2015.
Who was
Is
here?
Cur-
I don't
is
remember.
Oh,
But anyway,
In chat, do you guys know?
Without a fact checker, I would say that if you looked it up, I bet you trading him for future considerations had a lot to do with the fact that we were about to sign Carey Price for $10.5 million.
Could be. It sounds about the right. Yeah, the timing.
Right.
I just don't remember if he was here then. I don't remember what season that was. Remember the yeah. I thought Dubnyk would actually would be good here, but nobody was. I mean, that year.
Yeah, nobody was. Nobody filled that role with, like you said, since Budaj.
so just to clarify, between the Nashville Predators in 2014, well, 13-14, and Arizona Coyotes in 2014-15, Devin Dubnyk belonged to us for a total of 8 AHL games, ever.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's so he didn't get stuck in the AHL then.
He played,
a goalie too good to be in the minors, you got to move him out.
8 games with the Hamilton Bulldogs is all he had with us.
Then that's what it is.
He didn't play in the NHL? He didn't?
Not for us, man. I see
Crazy.
2013-14 Nashville Preds, then he's 13-14 for the 8 games with Hamilton Bulldogs, and then the next year he's with Arizona Coyotes, and that's it, man. That's all there ever was. And wasn't it that? Did we get him to expose a goalie for fucking expansion in that year? Is that
Maybe
what?
that's
Is that
what-
it?
You could be absolutely right.
I'm not sure.
I thought he played. I thought he played in that season. Carey went down, and they couldn't. Nobody could fill the role.
That was
I don't-
Scrivens.
Scrivens.
Yeah.
I know Scrivens was here, but I thought
But-
John was here before
Just looked it
Scrivens.
up, man. I
I
thought I
think
remembered
it
him.
was 2 years before, actually.
Oh,
Because
okay,
remember,
so I had it wrong.
Price did have an injury 2 years before the big one.
Yeah, no, I know that. It was that was the Kreider.
No,
I think you're right.
2 years before that, no?
No, I don't even like. Kreider wasn't even the one that knocked him out for the season, though. Like Kreider knocked him out for the rest of the playoffs. But then there was one he stepped on a fucking puck or something stupid, and he was out for forever the next season or 2 seasons later, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 10 games in. He gone 10-0. and he had an injury and he never came back.
Right.
They kept telling us. They avoided telling us till later in the season that he wasn't coming back.
That was my first fucking rift with Brian Wild. Whenever we traded first, like after all that media bullshit, and then we trade fucking Zach Cassian for Sean Scrivens, and Brian comes on and he's like, "This is no way says that Carey Price is out long term. This is just this." And I was like, "That's all this says, man. If you can't read between the lines right now, you are just you're blowing smoke up somebody's ass, right?" And then you blocked me.
I have a question about that, Brian.
What's that?
I know you're kind of close to Brian Wild.
I am.
So how likely are you to have him come here and smoke fucking dabs with us? Okay, that was my joke. I'm done.
0.0001%.
Oh yeah.
No, that'll
He's
never
hard to
happen.
get. I tried to get him to.
He's hot and
follow me.
cold. Let's just put it that way. He's hot and cold.
I tried to get him to follow me, and he wasn't following me.
And I mean, like, it is what it is, man. It's like, how many followers do you have, Rick, on Twitter?
Last I saw 370. I don't care about that stuff though.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, like, whenever you get to a certain point, there's always someone who has something to fucking say, no matter what, right? There's always someone who, like, there's somebody you got to mute. There's somebody, so like.
I just want to say it, Brian. For a lot of people, I'm that person.
You know what I mean? Let's say, for example, you got 370, and there's two people that fucking just get under your skin every fucking time.
Yeah.
Somebody's got 1,000, he's got 4, 5, 6. Like, whenever you get up to 35, 40,000 followers, and you tweet on something as like people are as passionate as hockey about, and the other shit that he gets passionate about, like you have got fucking dozens of just fucking. Like, and like, sooner or later you lose faith with how to communicate. Like, people don't know how to communicate, and those are the people I don't engage with, but it's like, fucking, like, people just like, oh, well, you're so stupid. Like, they just don't know how to. I'll share thoughts with anybody, and I'll share thoughts with people I disagree with, but I mean, if you don't know how to communicate your thoughts with me without calling me fucking stupid because I have an opinion, then, like, sooner or later, those people start to fucking get to you, and fucking Brian's been pushed over the edge far too many times by those people.
I saw him go through that a couple of times where he took.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Guys,
everybody has their faults as human beings. Brian tends to go over the line and apologize for it. You know what I mean? It
Brian,
is what it is.
He apologizes though, so
yeah,
nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing.
No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Some people will take that as a character flaw because they don't like what he has the opinions about in the first place. Everybody's got to pick their fucking team and play for it, Rick.
Fucking cable guy says that, of course.
Yeah,
fucking Wi-Fi guy.
You may be playing for Toronto, Austin Matthews, but until you go to Arizona, you got to put the puck in the net for your own team.
Wow.
Let's get Doper.
Doper.
Austin Matthews, man, kill the buzz.
Yeah.
What? You hate that guy?
Austin Matthews?
Oh
yeah.
Do you hate the guy, or do you hate the team? I hate the team, man. Like, whoever wears that sweat. The second Kessel left, I loved Kessel. And the second Kadri left, I loved Kadri. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
The sweater.
You like sexual predators? Really?
Oh, that's a big.
Why would you like Austin Matthews? You have a
daughter. That's rough. That's a rough term, though. Like, I know what he did.
Of course we do.
Yeah. How do you like a guy like that?
I will never also label somebody on one choice and one night that they've made. Like, I'm not going to call him a sexual predator.
But he never, you know what? Never atoned for. He bought his way out of it, and it's under the rug. And if he would have come out and like accept the responsibility of what he did, I would feel differently about the guy. But I don't, because of how he handled it. I don't like him. I hate the Leafs. So
yeah, I fucking hate the Leafs.
Like, you have every right to have that opinion, and I think like for me, it's just the team. Like, I hate the sweater, so like that's all it is. I like, as a hockey, I don't know the man as a person, so I can't judge his character. But I think he's a hell of a hockey player.
I'm not. I don't take away from his hockey talent ever, but he hangs out with Justin Bieber. It's enough said,
That's-
right?
That's enough.
Yeah, you
You
win.
win there. I want to. I want to rewind the conversation to the part where you were talking about Brian Wilde and people picking clans. I want to point out. I've managed. No, listen. I've managed to have a community of like 3,000 mutuals, and also being mutual with Jack Todd, and I'm sailing through that for years now. So, yeah,
Bravo,
take that.
dude.
That's
Take
hard.
that.
That's hard.
Bullshit doesn't stick to me. I could sail in it comfortably, no problem, man. I love
You
it.
know what's funny? I've got like on my list of blocked people that I've had blocked for fucking years, like before any of this fucking shit went off. Elon, Kanye, Alyssa Milano, Bette Midler, like fucking Jack Todd. Like I've had them blocked for years. All of this shit, I don't even see any of it.
You
I
didn't.
should do that with Elon. I think I'm
Did you
tired
block
of Elon.
Bobby?
What's that?
Did you block Bobby?
Bobby who?
Back in the days, Bobby.
Oh,
Bobby.
Montreal
Bobby.
Design?
Don't say it. No, you said it. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Yeah. You have that guy blocked?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Rick, you want to
Santa
tell
doesn't
us?
fuck around.
For sure, you've had one weird fucking encounter on Twitter, Rick. For sure, right?
Weird encounter? No,
Yeah.
no. What do you mean by weird though? What is your parameters for weird?
Oh man, there's
So
so
you called
much.
you a Nazi for driving a car?
Yeah, something like that. Or been labeled something completely unreasonable for. No.
No.
I got labeled.
Do you know why? I stopped engaging with anything. I don't make comments on people's shit. I get angry all the time, but I don't engage. Because there's no value to it.
Here's how I put it, Rick. Here's how I put it. Engaging with a tweet that you don't like is like walking down the sidewalk, seeing a pile of dog shit, and then stepping in it anyway.
I say even worse, and then putting your face right in it and going like that. Because that's all you're going to get. And now, since Elon's brought all the crazies in, he's pushing QAnon, and that's, yeah, I mean, it's insane. I don't bother anymore. Get my hobby stuff.
Hey, you won't say that when JFK comes back.
If JFK comes back, I'll take a step back and think about it.
Yeah. I said, what did I say? Oh, fuck, I forget. I said something about, like, fucking, they're looking for JFK to come back, but if it's Eisenhower, they're in for a fucking big fucking surprise.
It's not JFK, isn't it? His kid that they're expecting to come back?
Bobby? Or it's the kid? I don't know, man.
Oh, it's the kid. It's Junior. Junior. It's Junior.
I thought that's what...
Junior. Nice.
Yeah, it's Junior that they said was coming back.
Oh.
After the plane crash. That guy.
Good Lord.
Is he going to be with Elvis Presley, though? I think they just
who
released...
Who
they
else
just
would you bring back with you?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They just released the movie because they know it's coming soon. So they're going to lose all the money from the prod if they don't release it fast, right? Makes sense. Think about it. Think about it.
No, I
think about it.
Do your own fucking research, you fucking sheep.
Now cable up your computer and get the fuck out of here.
I missed that one. I didn't hear it.
I'll explain it.
Yeah, do it. So, go.
Pat's been calling me an anti-cable, and I've been calling him a fascist because of the whole computer thing. I run on Wi-Fi because I'm on my cell phone, right? So he calls me anti-cable. I call him a fascist fucking judging me. I'm like, I'm not anti-cable. I just don't have a cable. So like anybody who doesn't have a cable is an anti-cable. You fucking asshole. Right?
I don't have cable. I don't have cable TV. I've got it for internet, but I don't have TV.
TV's just a whole other thing, man. It's a whole other thing. But I am pro cable for the TV also. If you're asking.
Too expensive for what? For shows that I don't like, so I'm not paying.
Fucking, I wish I could pull the cable on cable. My wife, like, she has to have that full DVR, or she fucking loses her shit.
Oh, no, I get everything online. You don't have.
No, Rick, I know. But if I don't have a full DVR, my wife goes insane.
Yeah,
I'm like, she's like, dude, she told me the one time that was like, we can't do that because I won't get notified of the new seasons of the shows coming up. I'm like, if you don't think that they're going to advertise to you in whatever way that you watch this shit, you're dreaming. Like, yes, they will advertise to you, I promise.
You don't, but
sure.
I could tell you of something that's how you find out when you're online and they don't have that. It's called Google. Google it.
I can hear Andrea coming with some fucking smackdown.
No, it's not.
Yeah, dude, I seriously need to keep this down.
Don't worry. I'll shut up now because your wife won't like me.
Yeah, exactly. If you, if I want another studio built for me.
Yeah, she does. Brian's background is always evolving and changing because his wife is so fucking awesome like that. I'm not trying to.
I got the sweaters clean, buddy. Next week or next pod, there's gonna be the fucking greatest line in the history of the fucking Habs right behind me.
Did you distillate the water to keep the reclaim like I suggested for that sweater?
Dude, was that not disgusting, man? I'll tell you the story.
Yeah, do it.
In my old house, like I used to do like dabs like this, like what I've been doing on this podcast all fucking day long. Like I used to dab day and night.
No, I used to follow you. I know. I used to put them online.
So anyway, in my old house, I had this Habs room, and I had all my jerseys hung up, right? And I dabbed so much that I swear to fucking God, dude, my fucking sweaters were yellow. Like yellow. The white sweaters were yellow. So I told my wife, I don't know if you've caught any of the podcasts, but fucking Pat and I go on and on about Pat's Ready never having a better center than Desharnais. He's the best center he's ever fucking played with, right? So I told my wife, I've got a patch sweater, I've got a Desharnais sweater, but the Desharnais sweater was a white one, right?
It was a yellow one.
Yeah, it was a yellow one, yeah. I sent Pat a picture of the water because my wife hand washed it upstairs. Like he said, he's like, fucking strain that and fucking dab it again, man. It looks like yellow, dude. Yellow. It's like, yeah. It's not something to be proud of, but...
I worry about that.
But here I am.
I worry about that with my Lafleur. I just got that Lafleur sweater back there.
Beautiful, by the way.
Don't wear it.
It's lovely.
It hangs there. I've worn it the odd time just for like a picture or whatever. So but I worry about that because I don't know how to wash it. I have to do it by hand, I guess.
I had a question
if you get a yellow
regarding that for Rick. I see the Koivu sweater is on the door. Do you keep your setup up at all time, or do you set that up for streams?
Yeah, this is my studio. This is my studio. It doesn't change. Yeah.
Nice, awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have my bedroom. It used to be my bedroom, and I was in a smaller room, and then I got some lighting that it didn't work in the smaller room. I couldn't fit it, so I came into here, and this stays up all the time. Yeah.
Nice.
I change it around when I feel like it. There's something different.
Yeah, I assume the Christmas tree wasn't there all year long.
Well, yeah. I mean, no. Besides that, I'll move the sweaters around so they're different and stuff like that.
Nice.
And, I'll put things, take things down, whatever.
Awesome, man.
And every now and then I gotta wash everything because you gotta.
So actually, maybe there's some of our people here that don't watch your podcast. What do you do? What is it you do exactly?
Let's do a plug.
Yeah.
So I do mostly the live streams for the game. So I do a pregame show an hour before every game, and then I do the game. It's called a hangout. I don't show the game, of course, because you can't.
I'm playing dummy, by the way. I've been there. I know what's.
Yeah, so I do play-by-play and color commentary on my own, but sometimes I have my co-host with me. And
who's your co-host?
Color commentary, basically. I do the play-by-play, and we talk to everybody in the chat. I try not to miss a comment. It's one thing I'm good at because I have a smaller audience. I usually catch everybody's comments. So, and then I do poetry. So I write Habs poem. It's all towards the Habs. I don't do very often anything other than the Habs.
Will you give us one tonight?
A poem?
Will you give us a poem? Yeah.
That would be nice.
Off the top of my head, no.
Rick, do you know Mr. Mike on Twitter?
Sorry?
Do you know Mr. Mike on Twitter?
He's
a Habs fan and a big poetry guy, and he has a podcast about it. You guys should hook up, man.
Oh, yeah? Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I know who he is.
Wrong answers only. Exactly. That's his podcast. Mr. Mike's his name. Yeah, you should hook up, you guys. I'll fucking put you in relation if you want. You should totally do it.
Sure, anytime for sure. Yeah, no, I write. I would say I got about 30 poems out.
Nice.
I rewrite lyrics for songs that I can get they're public domain, and I'll write them and then I'll sing them.
Nice.
And they're all based on whatever's going on. So it's all based on, like, what I write is based on whatever's going on at the time. I do videos. Used to do a lot of videos, regular videos, but I'm shit at it.
Hey, thanks for coming, Bob. It was nice, man. Nice of you to come.
Other videos,
sorry,
but I'm not a good analytic guy. So I stopped doing most of that. When I get a good idea, I'll do that, and that's what I do, basically. So yeah,
right on. I'm gonna have to check you out. I'm sorry, like I haven't checked you out on YouTube yet, but like I'm going to now for sure.
Yeah, no worries. I got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different stuff out there. So
I remember from you've been around for a while, for quite a few years, right?
Yeah, 4 years tomorrow.
So that's probably around the beginning of it where I remember seeing your stuff, and a bit like Scotian Canadian, I always had some respect for people that take the time and effort to go out there and create stuff on something they like, whether it's a podcast nowadays, but 4 years ago, yeah, it was kind of the dawn days of podcasting, I guess, right, where it really started.
I will tell you this, Rick. You have been in my algorithms before, like for sure. Like I've like been scrolling through and I've seen your seen your videos in my algorithms for sure.
You're a Habs fan. That's gotta come out.
Yeah.
And your community. Your community is pretty cool. You got a lot of people interacting in the chat during the games. It's pretty cool that you seem to have like a pretty good community around there.
I've got my regulars, and then you get new people here and there, and depending on how the Habs are doing, and
you can tell wins and losses in tough seasons in this business.
Beginning of last season was tough, man. Oh my god,
dude. We started our first podcast with Matt and Jeff right before the playoff run. So it was the dream, right? So easy to go, and then the most horrible season ever, almost, right? So it was rough, man. Like it was a big U-turn, but yeah.
I didn't want to do the live streams. I didn't want to do them. Then Marty St. Louis took over, and it was like, oh my god, thank God. I don't believe in God, but thank God for Marty St. Louis taking over. Because it was impossible to be getting Dominic Ducharme.
Dominic Ducharme was just another fucking head on the old snake. Like it was just 8-9 years of the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I like the old organization. Like I like Marc Bergevin, man. I ain't got shit to say. Ducharme was.
I'm not saying bad about Marc Bergevin.
No, I know. But even Ducharme, for me, I feel like Ducharme needed the guy like fucking Shea Weber telling people to behave, man. Whereas Petrie pouting at the end of the bench didn't help the leadership of the team at all.
Okay,
so I felt like Ducharme needed a player that would force respect for the coach on the team, the way Shea Weber does.
But what was the difference then? They fired Ducharme. The next game, the team's different. What happened? Except the coach changed.
Yeah,
I'll tell you something, and
it's the feeling
and I'll tell you
change.
something. The timing was fishy, and I'll tell you why. They publicly said that they were going to wait to the end of the season, reassess things, and decide what happened. The All-Star break happened, and then they fired him immediately after that. So, like, is that just them having enough time to go talk to the players? Because that's what it sounds like to me. You know what I mean? Like they go to every single player and say, like we're probably going to let the guy go. Should we do it now or like do we wait? And I bet you fucking every one of them.
Wasn't there a loss that broke the camel's back, as they say? There was a loss there where I think I've heard them talk about it. Gordon and Hughes. There was a loss that they decided that they can't wait.
That's just it, right?
That was a loss that squeezed the Beavers.
Had Marty St. Louis lined up, I think, kind of. And I think that when that loss hit, it was like, no, we're going to do it now.
Do you remember it came out that Ducharme offered Martin St. Louis to be his assistant? So the name was floating around before that. From a year before, actually.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah, it is a thing. And another thing.
I think they waited for Marty to tell them he was interested in the top job.
Yeah, Marty said he was not interested at the time, and then it was confirmed that Bob Hartley was going to come and help Ducharme also. Ducharme called. That's from Bob Hartley himself on was it on radio? I think it's on the podcast. He said Ducharme called him and said, "Hey, do you want to come over and help coach me a bit, help me with?"
And wasn't Bob Hartley overseas at the time?
Yeah, that's exactly what Bob Hartley told Ducharme. Let me finish my contract and I'll come. So he was going to come be an assistant for Ducharme after that year.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's from Bob Hartley's mouth on TV.
I
So
believe it.
it's out there.
I believe it.
It's out there.
Didn't make it.
So that would have been pretty nice though. Like I love Martin St. Louis. I'm not trying to. You can't go back in time anyway. But that would have been nice. I think. Duchamp with Bob Hartley. Bob Hartley, pretty good coach, man.
Okay, but I mean, I can't. I know Marty St. Louis is my coach all the way.
Yeah. Same,
now.
man. Same.
I love the kid. I love that guy. I like his approach.
I don't know where I am yet, to be honest, with St. Louis. Like I believe like the new toy is the one you want to play with, and but I mean I'm starting to see some questionable stuff myself. Like Edmondson should be sitting.
But listen, he's a rookie, though. I mean, he's got to learn. So
I can absolutely have him grow on me, but I'm not going to cheerlead for Martin St. Louis at this point. I was at the end of the year last year because Caulfield was scoring again. Hockey was fun again. I was having a good time again after a dreadful start. So I was cheerleader for Martin St. Louis last year. I'm not going to do it until I see what happens with the building of this team.
You tweeted that. You tweeted that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was no, right. I don't agree with that. I remember that.
That's the whole podcast, Rick. We just recycle fucking tweets. That's all we do.
I remember seeing that you said that. Yeah, I was like, "No, Brian, you're nuts. Have another dab."
Yeah. No, you've exposed exactly how we work now. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I stand by that. Like, I want him to be the coach I want him to be, and but like I'm not going to cheerlead for him just yet. Not yet. There's things that I'm seeing that I don't like. So
yeah,
part of what I'm saying is that this guy's always come from behind. He's always overcome, and I'm not going to bet against him.
Oh no! Like, I'll even tell you, I lost a real good follower, like sharing this guy's pedigree whenever he was hired. There was a lot of people who like barking that he's a peewee coach, this, that, and the other thing, and like, man, like I went to bat for him when he was hired. So I think he's got all the tools, and I think he's got all. When the team gets a little better, when there's choices to be made, I'm going to evaluate them on those choices, because there's a couple choices right now that I wouldn't be making. Edmondson needs to sit a game or two, or maybe it's part of the plan to keep him in there to make sure that he doesn't appear to need to sit. I don't know. So I
think Edmondson's got his game back. But listen, I'll agree with you in that I said in my streams too that questionable moves by Marty a few times. I mean, the power play right there, it's questionable why that's not, like there's some stuff there.
The fucking slingshot on the power play, man.
It's dreadful.
Why are you still doing that stupid fucking slingshot on? I don't get it. I don't get it.
And I don't know. Why is Anderson on the top line the answer for everything? Like whenever you need to shake up anything, it's not Anderson. That's not where he needs to go. Those players aren't for him, right? I'd rather see Hoffman on the top line, to be honest.
Okay, now if you remember the last 10 games of last season, they put Hoffman there, and he did well, and it was really good combo. But then they tried it this year, and it didn't really work. So,
I think Hoffman started with cement skates this year too, though. He's playing a lot better. He's playing a lot better.
No, I think Hoffman, they had some good chemistry last year at the end of the year, so there's definitely something there. You could look at the Anderson thing and say that's questionable. I wouldn't disagree.
I wouldn't play Anderson for sure for the sole reason that you should be. It's not about rewarding players at this point. You have to manage your assets as good as you can, and if that means putting Drouin on the top line, well, maybe you should do it because he's for sale. If that means Hoffman, if that means Dadonov, well, maybe you should fucking do it.
I'm glad you said that, Pat. I'm glad you said that because that's what it is right now. And I said this last week. Right now, there's only two labels that matter. Like we were talking about labels. There's buyers and there's sellers. And like when you are a seller and we are a seller, you need to sell. You got to sell. And we've got 3 UFAs that have to go. Like I don't care if you take future considerations for them. I believe somebody will take a flyer with Drouin and Dadonov, Monahan will get us an actual return. I still think the other two will be moved. I think they can be moved. I see a lot of chatter online saying that they can't even be moved at the deadline. We've got a prorated cap hit. We've got possibility of 50% retained because we can do it for all three of them if we're not moving anybody else.
Put it on in. We've had this talk.
You're willing to give them away. If you're willing to give them away, which they are. Yeah. I think they will be at that time. Then
I wouldn't waste. I wouldn't waste swallowing part of any guy's contract that's expiring. If I can,
it's resetting July 1st. Why not? You can't trade
anybody else until then. Before I would on Eddie's contract is my point, because that guy if you swallow half his contract, he's down at 1 point. Edmondson.
Who?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Edmondson. Sorry,
Eddie. I said Eddie. Yeah, sorry.
They won't. No, they won't. They've already said they won't. They won't retain salary on anybody who has any kind of term.
It's 1 year, right. but here's the thing. Edmondson is paid.
July 1st,
guys,
they can retain, and that's only 1 year.
And he's only played 3.5. So 3.5 divided by 2, if you retain the whole 50%, it's 1.6 whatever something. It's almost nothing.
1.75.
Yeah, thanks. Almost nothing, right? It's 3.5, so it's 1.75. You're right. So it's almost nothing for 1 year.
I think Eddie might get moved at the deadline.
I think that's why I swallow part of his salary for the rest of the season.
I wouldn't swallow his salary. I just wouldn't do it. I would take whatever.
Optimize the return.
If that's a deal, but also too, it could also be the deal breaker of moving Drouin, Dadonov, or Drouin or Dadonov, and the possible return for them could be more than the difference than retaining on Eddie. Do you know what I mean? I think that
returning on Eddie could possibly bring you more than the value of one of these players.
That's what you have to evaluate. You don't do
that. I think it does.
You don't do that before you make the phone call. So,
no, that's not
that. If somebody calls you up and say, "I'll give you a second round pick for Drouin," if you retain 50% and take $3 million back on a fucking salary dump, then you get whatever. But you know what I'm getting at, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, if the value is more to retain on Drouin and the other guys, you just do it.
Eddie is one of my guys.
If the value is more on Eddie, then you take that retention. But I don't know. I wouldn't retain for another year.
Tell you what I do if someone would call me and say, "Well, give me a second for Drouin," I go, "Wait a second," and I pinch my.
Okay, no, but what I'm saying is if you're going to weaponize the cap space too. So let's say, for example, they can't afford anybody else, so they got to send back fucking Jay Beagle, just for example, just to make the cap space work, and we have to retain. That sweetens the pot, right? So if you get a serviceable winger or whatever, and you get to dump the cap, that costs money. Like
that's what they're willing to, but they're probably going to be willing to do that on Drouin and.
I think they get creative. I think they get creative trading one of those two, man. I think they weaponize some cap space too. It might be an expiring contract at the same time, but if you take back a giant contract and retain, you've just helped a team be able to make 2 or 3 more trades that same day, right? That's worth a lot of money on our cap space is worth money.
And in that deal, they're willing to give you a good draft pick.
Bingo.
Time, right? That's
Bingo.
the whole point. Yeah, that's
here. Buy out fucking Mason, and you can have Armia, right? It's like you know what I mean. Right? You use the cap space that's actual currency, and especially on trade deadline day. Like cap spaces are starting to get figured out on draft day, and you get more hockey trades. But whenever you see people actually weaponize cap space, like they could literally take a player, retain 50% and move them immediately in a 3-way trade, and that could be the best way to use their salary retentions, right? So
look how we got Monahan. That's how we got Monahan was their dump. We got the first round pick for it.
And we may well get another one.
That's why I insist we trade Monahan.
We trade him. That's right. Yeah.
You have to trade Monahan.
Just because of the masterclass asset management, you would be stamped to it. You have to fucking do it.
Listen. The whole you need this to be a contender. Listen, fucking Cole Caulfield's going to be 27 before we're fucking actually contending for a cup. He's going to be the core. Those people are going to be the core. Oh, okay.
20.
Okay. And listen, if you like
20,
Monahan,
24, 25, dude. 24.
If you like Monahan, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rick.
If you like Monahan enough to keep him, you sign him in the offseason.
Man, it's up to Monahan too, right?
Big
like everybody
whoop.
thinks that it's like,
about it?
yeah.
You work it out with him before you want to trade him, but you work it out. Listen, we want you.
Okay, so even if you work it out, you trade him to fucking, let's say, you trade him to LA, and he has a fucking great run, gets the sun, the fucking palm trees, this and that. It's the ball's in his court. You fucking trade him. He might even have told Kent Hughes that he's not even considering re-signing in Montreal, so you might as well. Like you know what I mean? Like just
have to anyway.
I'm with Rick, man. I'm with Rick. I don't believe when you say, "Oh, you can come back this," it never happens. But that's fine with me. Right. No big deal. If that's the case, if he's in the 99% that walks, fine. But if he is that 1% that comes back, that's worth fucking a lot to me. So do it, man. Fucking trade him. Trade him.
I know. How old is he? He's 28. He comes back. He's not coming back for 2 years. He's going to sign for a long-term contract at big money, and that's going to be a bad contract in 2-3 years. So that's not.
Yeah, we're sitting here. We're sitting here humming and hawing about Gallagher's, Anderson's, and Hoffman's contract now. That's all that turns into whenever we're a contender. That's it.
We're still writing Byron's contract right now, guys. Armia. There's a lot of those contracts. Fucking Paul Byron, dude.
Well, Byron's done at the end of the year. He's gone.
Yeah, but we're still writing that contract this year still. It's been a while, right?
Yep.
We've saved that.
LTIR, though.
Yes, exactly. No, it's not, but it could have. It could have. There's only so much.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to that, like you don't accrue any cap space on LTIR. So right now, with the money we have on LTIR, if that was in our salary and fucking on the ice playing, we'd have like $9 million in cap space to fucking work with because of cap space accrued. LTIR money doesn't accrue any cap space throughout the year.
Paul Byron wins us a few games this year, I'm sure, man. I won't lie.
Not as many as Jake Allen.
Carey Price.
No, I'm getting fucking worked up because some of the fucking advanced analytics sites think that there should have been a couple more goals scored. Now, did you see this list? There's games stolen by their goalies. Like fucking who determines that? Please, tell me who determines that they stole a game.
In Montreal wins tonight, that's stolen by Allen. I mean, that's a game, right? That's what I guess it is.
Is it stolen by Allen, or is it the fact that they couldn't finish? I saw him beat 6-7 times, and they just couldn't fucking put it past him. There was a bunch of them. You know what I mean? He was straight beat. There was posts. They couldn't finish.
So here's the thing, though.
Just because they didn't go in doesn't mean he stole a game. That's all I'm saying.
Some people will argue he's not. The post is not that he was beaten. Plays the angles right. That's what he leaves you.
Oh no! This was a fucking.
No, there was space on those.
Yeah, like he was beaten a few times, and I even thought of it tonight. Like I was like watching it tonight, and I was like, we're gonna win this fucking game, and then it's gonna be like fucking goalie stole the game, but the goalie didn't steal the game. Like they could, like some no. Have you seen the numbers?
That's what I was saying.
The guy's got a 4-goal fucking goals against average, and he's stealing games like he's Carey Price.
We didn't say he's Carey Price, but he could still steal a game.
Here's the thing, though.
He's supposed to. He's a professional goalie. He's supposed to play as well as possible, right?
Okay, I get what you're saying, too.
What I don't understand is, this isn't supposed to be happening because our goalie is too good. Like, that's not an argument for me. Hoffman scored 4 goals in 2 games. That's the exact same fucking thing. How come we're not bagging on Hoffman for scoring goals? Right?
Right.
These goalies are supposed to play like this as many times as they can.
Oh, I get it, but then you can never use the term goalie stole a game.
Carey Price stole so many fucking games.
Listen.
So here's the thing. Guys, give me a sec here. They're trying to sell us the same fucking headline they've been selling us for years, but now we're talking about Jake Allen and Samuel Montembeault. It's no longer Carey Price. Nobody stole a fucking game now. It's not Jake Allen. It's not Samuel Montembeault. We're not talking about Vasilevsky, Carey Price, or fucking Jonathan Quick at his top, right? We're not talking about these guys.
Why do you say that? Why do you have to be like a top goalie to be able to steal a game? Any goalie could steal a game.
Well, then why did we pay Carey Price then? If any, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Regularly. No,
these guys are fucking. Yeah, go ahead.
Hear me out.
I love it, dude.
Yes, goalies can steal games, but at no point can they be blamed. But at no point can they be blamed for where they are in the season because they stole a couple games. There's no numerical formula that says they stole a game. Like, if you're going to use the eye test, use the eye test. But how does Sportsnet go on there and say that there was definitively 6 stolen games by goaltenders? There's no formula to fucking say that. You know what I mean?
Even shots are a good.
There's and a game like tonight, like they couldn't finish. It wasn't the fact that Jake Allen was that good. They couldn't fucking lift the puck off the ice. You know what I mean?
Now you're criticizing me because that's all I was talking about was how he was stealing.
It is what it is. We're allowed to have a difference of opinion. That's what these things are all about, man.
That's the beauty.
It's subjective, right? I mean, it's like anything else. It's
100%.
subjective. You see it the way you see it. I see it the way I see it.
Now I might be a little more sour about it because I see some of like the fucking like some of the chatter online that we should be trading these guys because they're playing too good. Like, I don't know who you're fucking gonna put in there. Like again, you're not trading fucking Bobrovsky because he's fucking like spoiling a tank season. Like, it's fucking Jake Allen and Sam Montembeault. Like, how much worse can you fucking get? You know? And I'll tell you another thing. It's not just the goaltending. Now, there's a bunch of nuance. We started unhealthily or abnormally healthy this year. We started with an easier schedule this year. Our defense was supposed to be a fucking tire fire, and it turns out it's probably the best part of our game at the moment, which in turn affects the goaltending, right? So, and we're also in a 30-game sample size. We've got 4 things that we didn't expect, and we're going to blame the goalies and start trading goalies. It's 30 games, guys. There's 50 fucking games left, right?
No. Yeah.
Like, there's, and if you don't see a fall in the standings coming, if you don't see that writing on the wall, then, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's a dramatic.
So,
Rob,
Rob,
there's a separation coming.
Rob would tell you that's the tank.
Well, I mean,
Rob has been talking shit in the chat, by the way, about that. I'm gonna read it out.
On purpose.
Brian, he stole 3 games. Deal with it. Talking about Allen. A decent save percentage is .905, meaning if the other team should get 1 goal per 10-11 shot. Abs were outshot 36-20. I don't know if that makes sense.
He had an 896 going into today's game. Okay, an 896.
Yeah.
He's talking about tonight, I believe.
What's that?
Hey, but what's
talking about tonight.
What's his
Who
save?
cares? It's like a fucking it's
no.
I love you're getting all right up.
No, but wait a second. You're saying how do you tell if a goalie? So if a goalie with an 896 save percentage has a 950 save percentage, and they win the game, he stole the game. That's the way to look at it. No.
So
I like in layman's terms, maybe.
Okay.
Because what you were saying, Brian, what you were saying earlier with what you were saying earlier that they couldn't finish. Well, all the shots they missed don't count on that, so it kind of kills that narrative a bit, right?
That's fair too. That's
right.
Fair too. You're supposed to have these games as a pro goalie, man.
I hate to say it. I'm on Rob's side now. He won me.
Whatever, go, fucking go. What's the shit, man?
But wait a second. But by that, but what you just said, you're supposed to have these games as a pro goalie. But then that goes for the other goalie too. So there's got to be a loser.
Of course, we've been fucking goalied we've been goalied 7 billion times. How many times do we make their backup goalie look like fucking Carey Price? That's been an MO for the Habs forever.
Rookie goalies, though. They come here and get the best fucking games, man. They're fucking rookie goalies out of nowhere, right?
Their first game with the fucking NHL always score their fucking first goal against the Habs.
Yep.
It's the same thing. We make their goalies look like fucking Dominic Hasek routinely.
Even fucking Shane Wright scored against us, right? The same time.
Right?
Yeah, I agree, but he had other games before he could have scored his first goal, but it happened against us, right?
On my pregame show, I said Shane Wright's scoring tonight for sure,
course.
without a doubt.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what we're saying.
What's that?
My tweet was, I wrote fucking Shane Wright scoring tonight was about as predictable as the soft music when Danny Tanner starts telling our life lesson for the week.
I saw that tweet. Yeah, but I mean, it was, right? Oh, and the other day we had the goalie was what? Dostal? Never heard of him before. I said he's going to win. He's going to look like he's a
That's exactly what we were
That's
saying. Yeah,
what happened.
they do that against Montreal. Always.
It's predictable.
We're a fan base that has like glorified hot goaltending and wonderful goaltending, and we've got fucking people in our fan base fucking pissed off that we have 7 more points in the middle of the end of fucking December than we should have in a fucking it's fucking
Yeah, we're in the bottom 10. What are they worried about?
Right, and the separation is coming. Like I don't
coming.
We're at the bottom of the Atlantic already.
Coming.
You know what I mean? Like it's coming.
4 rookie defensemen. If you don't think at some point in this season that they're not going to collapse and have a really
Rick,
Pat, are you listening?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay. But why is it always fucking Matheson and fucking Edmondson sucking then? That's not my rookie D-man, guys. That's the fucking old guys. Bring me back my 4 original fucking blue line from early in the season, guys.
Yeah, I agree. I can't.
So it's not the blue line that carried us that's struggling now. It's a different one.
He's the one guy I don't think is going to crack. I don't think
You won't.
Who's that?
Gooley.
Arbor?
No.
Oh,
Gooley. Yeah.
Arbor won't crack.
Yes, there's already cracks in his game, but
Yeah.
he's learning from it.
But he's not cracking. Yeah, there's cracks in his games, but he's not cracking. He's solid.
No. But he's
right. You know what I mean?
Learning.
He's not going to collapse and start regressing mid-season because it's too hard for him, right?
He's a guy with the right attitude and the right mental makeup. He's learning, and it's fine.
When he started this season, he thought he had to throw knuckles to stay in the game. He needs to play smart defensive hockey and then be an aggressive player after the fact. It's between the ears, and once he cleans a couple of those things up. No, because he does. He chases players all over the place whenever they fucking do anything near the net. He will chase them around, and he loses his position because of it.
Makes mistakes, but like Marty said, as long as you don't keep making the same mistake, that's the whole thing. And that's what this year is about. It's development. That's what it's about. So these guys will have that period when they get tired. It's getting towards the last last 30 games. And they're going to have that 8-game losing streak and that 10 or whatever, maybe 10.
And then they're going to sell at the fucking deadline, and they're going to be an even worse team on paper.
I'm not convinced about that though.
I've said this as many times as people will listen. Like tanks are they don't exist in the first place. Players don't tank. Management tanks. They make decisions to tank, and nothing like tanks don't happen before the deadline. Whenever the buying and selling starts, it just doesn't happen.
It don't really happen.
You're trying to win games,
guys.
It's a measuring stick.
If we go fire sale at the deadline, chances are we won't suck as bad as we expect after it because there's no pressure. Now it's playing for fun, and we got a bunch of kids with fucking eye skills.
Have you seen the schedule, buddy?
Yep.
Have you seen the schedule? Yeah, it's fucking rough. It's rough.
I know what they say about the schedule.
We're gonna have another rookie or two. We're gonna have another rookie or two.
Okay, are you changing? Brian, are you changing where you think we're gonna finish the season?
No, I still think we're gonna pick 9th. I just don't think we're gonna get the fucking ball drop luck that we would love.
I think they're gonna finish 6th to 10th, somewhere between 6 and 10.
I said I made the prediction last week, and it was based on absolutely nothing, just where we were and this and that. I said the Habs were gonna pick 9th, and they're gonna pick 12th through Florida.
Right now, we'll get 10 and 12, so you're close.
Yeah.
I don't know after this loss, though. It might be different.
And we'll see what happens with the ball drop, right? Like, we can go up or down a couple.
Got two chances, though, this time, so
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be good. You think Florida plays their way out?
I think Florida misses, no. Yeah, the math is just too hard now. I think they need to win it like a 6-25 or something like that from here on out. That's tough.
Yeah, I know. It's going to get tougher as the hockey gets harder.
Yeah, that's right,
man. True. That's true.
And I mean, like, people start to prey on teams like that too. Like whenever, they don't. There's no easy games for the Florida Panthers now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and the Bobrovsky like shit, and as a young goalie, you don't know how he's going to handle it when the games get to be crunch time.
Right.
For sure. Guys, we've been at this for like 2 hours now. It went so fast. Yeah.
That did go quick.
So, I had a lot of fun.
I loved it.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Anytime you guys ask me back, I will say yes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
man.
let's
It's
do it again for sure.
Fucking
for
nice
sure.
to argue with you guys. So, hey man, I'm Two Stone. Where's the song? Right here. There it is. So, Rick, it was super fun having you on the show. Brian, fucking
buddy.
asshole. I'm kidding.
Shove your cable up
Nice
your
meeting
ass.
you guys for the first time. It was really nice meeting you guys for the first
Same.
time.
I really enjoyed it, dude.
Following you on Twitter. So it was really cool.
Yeah, it's fun to meet in person, kind of.
Yeah.
Super.
Part of in person, right?
All right, thanks everyone who were in the chat. Chat has been great, except you. Fuck you, Rob. Fucking hate you. Just kidding.